David Benavidez. Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo.
You can't take Crawford's skill away. You know, you have to give him credit for his skill. He's an amazing fighter. He's an amazing technician in the ring. And
Benavidez is like 6 foot something. You know what I mean? Then he gonna come in 190, 200 probably. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, that's a big dude. Like, you know what I mean?
And he's skilled, man.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I might as well go to heavyweight if I fight Benavidez.
After defeating one of boxing's biggest stars, Terence Crawford, and his camp have shifted their attention toward a new target in David Benavidez. The same Benavidez many fans claim Canelo Alvarez avoided for years is now being discussed as a potential next step in Crawford's plans.
I think it's like 64.
David Benavidez. Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo.
I wouldn't fight Crawford. I'm at 175.
It was clear from the beginning that Terence Crawford did not chase Canelo Alvarez. For financial reasons, his aim was to strengthen his legacy and secure his place among boxing's all-time greats. As he continues that journey, his team is now looking toward the dominant force at 168 pounds, David Benavidez, the dangerous contender widely recognized as the Mexican Monster.
You'd want to see Bud fight in this era that you think, you know what, that'd be a great fight.
Well, I would say Benavidez, but he's too, you know, that weight class is too high for him. So, you know, where he's at now is great.
If this fight were to become reality, it would have to be held at super middleweight, the division where David Benavidez is most established. However, what makes it compelling is that Terence Crawford has already shown at 168 pounds that he is not merely competing, but operating at an elite level against top opposition.
Out here, Kamaru, Terence Crawford versus the Mexican Monster, David Benavidez.
I knew it was coming.
He was the mandatory for Canelo.
Oh my God. Relax.
What's up? The scariest guy in the division.
He's not in the division.
He said he could still make 168 pounds. The reason why he wasn't, because nobody wants.
During his bout with Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford displayed sharp speed and pinpoint accuracy, staying ahead of the action, slipping shots, and forcing Canelo to miss repeatedly. Now picture that same movement timing and ring IQ going up against a naturally larger and relentless pressure of David Benavidez, a contest like that has the potential to send shockwaves through the sport and completely shift the landscape of boxing.
Talking about Crawford.
Crawford and Benavidez.
He said he wondered if Benavidez could make 168.
We just talked to Womack and he was like, nah, we don't want to do that.
I just think Benavidez, he's like, what, 6'5", 6 something like that? He's a big dude, bro.
After Terence Crawford secured his significant win, Turki Alalshikh appeared satisfied and began fueling discussion on social media. He took to X to question whether David Benavidez is still able to compete at 168 pounds, a move that clearly hints at serious consideration for a possible showdown between Crawford and Benavidez.
Alalshikh posted on social media asking if David Benavidez is still capable of making it down to 168. Now, we're not sure if this little tease that Turki made was targeted as a hint for a future fight between Crawford and Benavidez or Canelo versus Benavidez.
However, there is an important twist. David Benavidez does not appear enthusiastic about facing Terence Crawford, and that situation feels similar to how things first unfolded with Canelo Alvarez, who initially showed little desire to fight Crawford until a reported $150 million offer changed the conversation completely and turned it into the biggest bout of his career. That shift highlighted the influence of Turki Alalshikh, because when that kind of financial incentive is presented, reluctance can quickly fade. Discussions about legacy may sound meaningful, but nine-figure opportunities have a way of transforming hesitation into immediate agreement.
I feel like Bud needs a Benavidez, and then that would mean Benavidez would have to go into a different body and bring himself back down to 68 when he's already getting settled in at 175. That's just Turki trying to pull rank. Turki trying to show he got a golden arm. You know what I mean?
This is where the story takes an unexpected turn, because after all the discussion about huge financial offers, Terence Crawford finally shared his honest thoughts about David Benavidez, and there was clear respect in his voice along with a sense of caution. He explained that Benavidez is far from an ordinary super middleweight, even suggesting that his size and strength resemble that of a heavyweight. Crawford even laughed and said that if he steps into that fight, he might as well start campaigning at heavyweight because that is how physically imposing Benavidez truly is.
We're at 168. When we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. You know, when you look.
But not now. That 175, yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 no.
In truth, that description is not far off because David Benavidez often looks large enough to compete comfortably above his current weight class. Yet despite acknowledging that physical edge Terence, Crawford remains confident that his speed, timing, and technical ability would give him the upper hand. That belief defines Crawford's approach. He studies his opponents, recognizes their strengths and dangers, and then builds a strategy to overcome them. It is this calculated mindset and willingness to break down a challenge step by step that has earned him the respect of fans who see him not as someone who avoids risk, but as a fighter who treats every matchup like a tactical battle to be solved.
When you look at these fights, you know, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, you know, say, all right, you know, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off. You know, me personally, I believe in my skills and my ability that I can be.
Size does not seem to intimidate Terence Crawford at all. He carries himself as if he controls every move in the ring, studying someone like David Benavidez, who appears towering and powerful, yet still speaking with total confidence about finding a way to win. He has a habit of making even the biggest challenges sound routine. But just when the excitement around that matchup started building, trainer Robert Garcia stepped in with a more grounded perspective, offering a reminder that facing a naturally larger and aggressive opponent is never as simple as it sounds.
He should have maybe fought Benavidez instead. Maybe that would have been a better fight for him.
Who?
Benavidez.
Oh no, Benavidez would destroy him. Not even close. Just like Benavidez would destroy Crawford.
It definitely caught attention when Robert Garcia suggested that David Benavidez has the ability to defeat both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, because that kind of statement immediately shifts the conversation. But Garcia was not trying to soften his view. He was simply pointing out that while Crawford is widely regarded as a rare generational talent, Benavidez presents a unique physical challenge with his size and power, and in a matchup like that, those natural advantages could test Crawford in ways few opponents have. It was a bold and direct assessment that reminded everyone how dangerous that potential fight could truly be.
There's no chance. There's no chance. Benavidez is too big, too strong, too fast for these guys. Benavidez would beat these two guys, I would say easy.
He dismissed the idea without hesitation, ending the discussion instantly, much like a parent shutting off the internet when it is time to stop playing games and focus on reality. And while there is no doubt that David Benavidez is a formidable force, fans have seen time and again that doubts about Terence Crawford being outmatched by size or power often disappear once he steps in the ring and finds a way to outthink and outmaneuver his opponents. It is exactly that history of defying expectations that makes the idea of a fight between them so compelling and worth every penny for fans who want to see how that chess match would unfold in the ring.
And like I said, Crawford is one of my favorites of all times now because of what he just accomplished, what he just did. But Benavidez is too big for him, too fast, too strong. I wouldn't even want to see it. Canelo, Benavidez.
Man, hearing Shane Mosley say that Terence Crawford could actually be better than Floyd Mayweather Jr. had me doing a double take, because that kind of claim sends boxing fans into a frenzy. He didn't just throw the statement out there, he backed it up, explaining that while Mayweather was a master of pure technique, Crawford brings something different: long arms, relentless toughness, and a willingness to fight in any style or position that makes him incredibly dangerous. It was one of those takes that makes you stop and think, because comparing anyone to Mayweather at that level is huge. But Mosley's point was clear: Crawford's versatility and fighting spirit put him in a conversation with the very best in the sport.
But after the fight, Canelo was like, he's better than Mayweather. So, maybe it was just different because Crawford's arms are long. His arms are really long, so it's kind of hard to hit him. But no, he did everything, man. He's the man.
It is hard to disagree, because at the core, Shane actually makes sense. Imagine the discussion moments with Skip Bayless looking nervous, Max Kellerman giving an endless explanation, and your uncle at the barber shop shouting with anger. This argument will keep going for a long time, which is what makes it memorable. Then Mosley randomly mentions the idea of Canelo retiring, as if it is nothing special. Canelo has achieved a great deal, and perhaps coaching other fighters would be a good move, or maybe he could even fight Jake Paul for a huge payday of $100 million.
But Canelo, do you think he should retire?
Yeah, I mean, Canelo is more so into training, probably fighters and helping people. You know, like he already did what he needed to do. There's nothing really more he can do in the sport.
Boxing is special because we can jump from arguing about who the greatest fighter ever is to imagining what it would look like if Canelo Alvarez completely outclassed Jake Paul just for the sake of streaming numbers. That is the beauty of the sport. We get to witness moments and debates as they unfold. Terence Crawford continues to prove he is on a different level, while the legacy of Floyd Mayweather Jr. still influences how people view modern boxing. Legends like Shane Mosley speak with honesty, reminding us that the conversation about greatness never really ends. And if Canelo ever actually fought Jake Paul, social media would likely collapse under the reaction, much like what happens when tickets sell out instantly on Ticketmaster during major events, such as concerts by Taylor Swift. That unpredictable energy is what keeps boxing exciting, even if fans don't always admit it.
Would you think Bud would retire? I didn't actually ask you that. Do you think Bud could call it a day?
He probably will retire for a year, maybe. If he does, a year or 2 years, like that, right? A year. But he's coming back.
Yeah.
He's coming back. He's a fighter. He's coming back. Come on.
Right after Shane Mosley suggested that Terence Crawford could be superior to Floyd Mayweather Jr., Simon Jordan jumped in with an almost financial analyst approach, speaking as if he personally reviewed the contracts. And he actually has a point. Canelo Alvarez left Las Vegas with an enormous payout, around $150 million, so big that it might as well require a forklift to carry it. Crawford, who accomplished something historic inside the ring, earned about $50 million. That is still life-changing money, enough to buy property and disappear from public view. But compared to Canelo's earnings, it feels like Crawford was rewarded for painting the masterpiece, while Canelo got paid for simply hanging it on the wall. That is the nature of boxing. Technical greatness earns admiration, yet widespread fame and branding are what truly build generational wealth.
That Canelo Alvarez has been able to sell himself in such a way because of his personality, because of the nature of the relationship with the Mexican contingent, his relationship with the broadcasters, whereas Terence Crawford has travelled a little bit under the radar, always been seen. He doesn't have the biggest of personalities, so he can sell himself in that certain